So today I've been down a YouTube wormhole and I've pulled myself back from the brink and come out into the studio with my cup of creative tea. Welcome to my Why Not Wednesday art experiences, where we're going to look at different things, different techniques, different art materials, and I promise to keep these short. So today we're having some masking fluid, the middle of an old loo roll, and a couple of lids. What do you think we're going to do with these? Let's find out. So I've got a piece of Bockingford paper. It's actually the back of another piece of work that I'm getting some extra use out of. I'm going to use a recycled glass jar here, just poured water out of. Right, let's just clean this up. So I'm putting masking fluid straight into this, so I've got lots of room. This is a fairly old masking fluid I've had in the studio. You can see how it's gone a bit gunky. You will reach a point with your masking fluid where you can no longer use it, because when you open the jar it's all like that, and that's the point, you throw it away. So this is a blue masking fluid and it's really handy because you can see where you've gone. However, you can make your own tinted masking fluid just by buying the white stuff and adding a colour to it, so you don't have to buy the blue. So the idea I had was the inside of a toilet roll. If you're squeamish about that sort of thing, try a kitchen roll. So I've no idea if this is going to work. Let's go for it. So I'm just printing and I've just splattered masking fluid all over, but that's fine. That could add to the effect later. As soon as I had this idea, I thought, well, what else could I use that was different sizes? And of course it's a good way to use things that might otherwise be thrown away, or at least put in the recycle bin. Now I've got huge blobs here. Now if you don't want those at the end, do not worry, because when it's dry you just rub them off. So I'm now coming in with the top of a laundry wash bottle. That's got a nice round inner edge there, so I'm just dipping that in. I'm learning as I go to shake it a little bit. I'm now going to try, oh dear, that didn't work so well, did it? Right, this is interesting. The plastic has got a bubble inside it, can you see? And that's then leaching all over, so let's see what happens when I pop that. Is that better? Nope, terrible. This one isn't going to work. Nope, definitely didn't work. Right, that's good, lesson learnt. Now I've got a smaller one. This is the top cap of maybe a squash or a juice bottle, something like that. Whoops, let's drop it in, literally throw it in there. So we've got that bubble effect again, so let's just get rid of that. Not sure how this is going to work. Got the edge of it there, not too bad. Try another one. That's all right. Okay, a little bit more control is needed here, Jackie. Be careful. You might actually succeed if you do that. Yeah, not too bad at all. These are obviously complete failures. So I have no idea what the difference between the edge of that plastic is and the edge of this plastic, or maybe it's to do with the volume of air that's left behind. Who knows? Please comment below if you understand these things. I've got a metal tin here. Going to just try that one. It's quite big, this one. Well, similar size to the first one I did. And got a bit of a blob there. So these don't have to be perfect circles unless you're doing a painting where you really want a perfect circle, in which case maybe the cardboard roll, the tube, is the best. I'm going to put one more just there. Okay, so lesson learnt, do not overload. Also, do not worry if you end up with huge patches of stuff you don't want, because when it's dry you can rub this off. This area here will probably get taken off, but yeah, let's see what happens. So I get this dry. This, because I've poured it out, has been exposed to air, but rather than throw it away, I'll just pop it back inside its bottle for now and get a bit more use out of it. I could have been a little less generous, but it's a good way to use the masking fluid rather than it just go off over time. So I'm already 4 minutes into my video, or nearly 5. Oh my goodness, I better get on with it so you don't all have to hang around for hours. I've tried to finish this off quicker with a hairdryer, but where it was thick it is quite hard to get that to dry quickly. But I use a mask away, which is a piece of hard, well, it's probably the same stuff, a hard rubber. By the way, if you have a latex allergy, you may well wish to not use this technique. I must have a look to see if I can find you an alternative. If I do, I'll pop it in the comments below. So these two areas here, I might just keep these two little round blobs. This one, too much going on here. It's a little bit wet, this bit. And annoyingly, that has actually stained my paper. Just there, can you see? Which I didn't expect it to do actually, but there we go. Maybe it's because I speed dried it with the hairdryer. It's another thing to bear in mind. Sometimes you can force things that don't want to be forced. So I'm going to get all the big lines off that I don't like. I don't mind the little round ones. Some of them are a little bit linear. All this over here was as I carried the masking fluid over, so we're not going to go over that far really. See how easy it is to take it off if you don't like it before you add your paints. I haven't left any highlights or anything. I'll take that one off because I just wanted to see what the technique was on the circles themselves. Now I've got some paint sitting around from earlier today. It's half term in the UK and the grandchildren were here, so I'm going to use up some of their dark interesting mixes and see what happens over here. Right, I've thrown a couple of colours extra into the mix which are in another palette. I'm going to lightly spray across my shapes here with a spray bottle. If you haven't got a spray bottle, just use a damp brush, a clean brush in clean water. So I'm going to go through the middle here with what I think is burnt sienna. Who knows what's in these palettes. If this masking fluid wasn't dry, I'd now be ruining my brushes. And just in case it's not dry, I'm making sure that my brushes aren't my best. But I'm also utilising this dark colour because it's really quite handy to see what's going on in the shapes. There we go. And now I have no idea what this dark colour is going to be. The children have been into this, so it could be anything. There we go. Along here, over this area here. Oops, picked it up wrong. Leaving a few light areas. Just a little bit of an experiment where I think things should go. Ooh, I won't do any more techniques because that will take hours. A little bit of spray, and then just because it looks like a big blob, just take the edge of that away. Look how much fun that is. Just get a damp brush and do that around the edge of your painting, and oh, it's so nice. There we go, that's done. Now I'm going to get that dry. This is dry now. Whilst it was drying, I had a quick look for masking fluid that is latex free. The one that popped up is like in a pen style, and it's Pebeo, and it says it's vegan and latex free. So I will pop that into the description. I'm sure there'll be others, but that's the one that was, well, not an awful lot came up, so that one I will pop in the description for you in case you need it. Right, let's get back on to this. So this is, I hope, dry. If it's not dry, we'll soon find out when I make a terrible mess. So I'm going back to my mask away block, and I'm just gently finding the edge. The fluid I put on is blue because I've painted blue paint in some areas. That could throw me a little bit, so I try and find my way around. I do like the masking blocks. You don't have to use them, you can use your finger. Just make sure it's all dry first. Finger works just as well. However, if you use this over a lot of paper, especially if it's rough paper, you'll actually start making your fingers quite sore. So I'll just carry on and take this all off, feeling my way. Don't over push the mask away because you may tear the paper. When you're using one of these, you might find that you do miss bits, so it is well worth running your fingers over the surface, because there's nothing better to find any misbits than your fingers. They are way more sensitive than this. So there we go, we've got a nice effect going on there. Left some white spaces on the paper as well. Just turning it around so you can get different views of it. That's a really nice effect. So that was achieved quite simply with the middle of a toilet roll. Again, you could use kitchen roll. This little lid worked really well. This laundry lid didn't. We'll wait to see why. The metal tin worked really well. Of course, all of these things will easily clean up afterwards. And with the dish that I put the masking fluid into, do not worry about cleaning this. Just let it dry. Once it's dry, just rub around with your finger or with a cloth, and all of that will just peel away, and you'll end up with a perfectly clean jar to start again. So I hope you enjoyed that. I found it just came to me after I'd watched a YouTube video on using a ruler pen compass. So look that up if you're interested in that technique as well. I just thought of how can I use household items, and I do tend to do that a lot. So I'll look at a few more of those in the future. I may use this technique in a future video, so keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, happy Wednesday, enjoy your art, and happy painting. See you soon. Bye for now.